Your kids are now going from elementary to middle school, and it is a wonderful experience. It's also a very important time for parents and their kids. Middle school brings a lot of transition. It brings independence. It brings organizational skills, all of these things that they have been working at in elementary school, they will really have to draw on them when they get to middle school. So it's going to be really important that we all work together and we're communicating and we are working towards the same goals. This team right over here is a very committed team. They have, between all of them, there are many, many years of experience. And what they want to do is they want to make the middle school experience for your kids as enjoyable as possible. So what they're going to do this morning is they're going to talk to you about what is that going to look like, what are the expectations we have of the children, and how it is you can help facilitate that transition coming in and making sure that the middle school experience is preparing them to go on to high school and beyond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the teachers to introduce themselves to you, and then they have a presentation for you, and they will disseminate some information, and then there'll be time for you to ask questions. Okay? So right over here.
Hi. My name is Yasmin Sharif. I teach 6th grade science, and I was a student teacher in 5th grade, and I've been at Baker for 18 years.
I'm Alice Dinkett. I'm a Learning Center teacher, and this was my first year as a Learning Center teacher.
Hi, Nate Melbourne, 6th grade math, and this was my first year at Baker.
Darcy Robertson. I am a 5th and 6th grade comprehensive Learning Center teacher. This is my 8th year at Baker. And so I support many 6th graders.
My name is Jeff Denman. I teach 6th grade world geography and 7th grade U.S. history. I'm not going to tell you how long.
I'm Matt Picard. I teach English language arts.
And everyone knows.
Katie Suzama, and I'm guidance counselor this year, actually grades 4 through 8.
Okay. So enjoy and sit away.
Thanks,
Thank you, Robert.
All right, I'm first up. Thank you for coming. So 4 areas that we're going to talk about today, main areas that each of us are going to cover, are the social emotional changes that your child is likely to go through going into 6th grade, how we're going to support them with that. The changes in academics in terms of expectations and how students are assessed and evaluated, which is grades, which is a big concern, going from 5 to 6 a lot of the time. Organizational systems, Ms. Sharif is going to talk about that, and communication, how we communicate with you, how we communicate with students, how we can best share information to make sure your child has a successful 6th grade year. So I'm going to start off with social emotional, or the advisory curriculum, and I'm going to start off just by doing this. Ha 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 ha.
Come on, Aaron.
I know you can't see it at the ground all the way. There's a camera going up. So I can tell this is a good group already because you've demonstrated some things. You've demonstrated that you've got self-control, right? You can stop barking like a seal when the tissue hit the ground, okay? And you've demonstrated that you like to have fun. And those are some things that we try to foster in our advisory curriculum with the 6th graders. The advisory curriculum is relatively new to middle school. It's a continuation of what we call responsive classroom or morning meeting that your students participate in now and have been participating in since they've come to Baker. What we try to do is meet adolescent needs, 4 adolescent needs in the advisory curriculum. That's the need for fun with games like clapping tissue, autonomy, competency, and relationships. And we tell the students this right out from the beginning. So we meet twice a week with our advisory groups, with the homeroom teachers. So it's really a community building time. It's a time for students to discuss social issues affecting them. And it's a time just for us to come together as a homeroom. I like to think of it as it's their time that we facilitate. And at this point in the year even, we have students in the 6th grade facilitating their own advisory lessons now because it's a gradual release. We model behaviors just like I modeled for you just now, and then you, or the students, demonstrate those behaviors. And by this point in the year, students are doing a wonderful job taking over the advisory role themselves, leading the whole thing from beginning to end where we sit there quiet and observing. So that's the goal of that time. Your student will be doing that at least twice a week next year with the coming schedule. Some things that are different between 5th and 6th grade. We really try to foster independence and self-advocacy, the beginnings of it in 6th grade. We understand when 5th graders come in, they're not there, and by the end of 6th grade, we hope that they've taken, if they're not there all the way, that they've taken a big step in that direction. What that looks like is if they're having a problem, academic or social, we really try to encourage them to advocate for themselves, to come forward to us or to work with the other student that they're having a problem with, which is part of the toolkit that we give them in advisory. Now naturally that's not saying that we say, you're out there on your own. We have a very supportive and competent guidance staff, and we too help students with any challenges they're facing. But the goal is, the objective is to move them in that direction of taking on these challenges themselves. So that's one big change from elementary to middle school. What else? Changing classroom traditions or grade level traditions. We have some great traditions in the middle school level. We're going on our end of the year trip soon. 6th grade does a bake sale and raffle every year. We always have intercession. 8th graders go to somewhere. This year it's New York. But we also leave some traditions behind. We leave them back in elementary school, and some of those include celebrating birthdays with food, holiday parties we don't have anymore at the 6th grade level. And that's hard. That's an adjustment for some kids to make from 5 to 6. But we try to replace those with age-appropriate and equally exciting new traditions.